We've got so-called rain this morning. Yesterday we had a high here over Germany, which they sprayed out. You can see we've got a high tent ceiling here. That's what I call it when you don't have any clouds. It's just white and gray. We do not have any weather systems anymore. It used to be high pressure, low pressure system. Take a look at the fog here. This fog is coming down from above. Always in conjunction with so-called rain and snow when they want temperature. If they need more temperature, they'll have more fog fall. Just wait until the summer when they want their 40 degrees. The whole neighborhood is filled with this white fog. We had a lot of it this past December and January. Sometimes the fog is even black. It rolls in from above. Sometimes it's blue. Sometimes it's grayish. Sometimes it's whitish. There's different compounds that they spray. There is an article written by the Air War College about owning the weather in 2025. The whole reason I do believe, look at all these trees they've cut down. They're right in front of the old folks' home. I shouldn't call it that. I'm an old folk myself, so I guess it's okay if I do. I'm not being disrespectful. At least I don't mean to be disrespectful. They talk about fog as a weapon against the enemy. Who is the enemy? Who? We are the enemy. Take a look. You can see this white fog in the atmosphere here. I've tried to tell this to many, many people. I say, they say, Golly, it got so warm all of a sudden. Well, there was fog, and they just look at me, and they do go into a disconnect. Some will say it's not a disconnect. I think it is a disconnect. Because they draw a complete blank. They cannot make the connection. Because the connection in their brain, their synapses, has been cut. And I think the way they do this is with NLP, with hypnosis. If you watch TV, they put you in a trance. Just watch the news, especially here in Germany. I don't know what it's like in the States. But here, they have a gong. First they have a countdown, and then they have a gong, and then they have music. And these are all implements. Look at the background here, all white. These are the implements of hypnotics, mind control. I told somebody the other day that I got rid of my television, and he said, well, yeah, you don't need a TV. You have internet. Everybody watches Netflix. Nobody watches TV anymore. And I just thought, Netflix. How often have I said to people, I don't watch TV? I don't either. I just watch Netflix. What is the difference? Please, come. Here is also an alchemical temple right here. It sprays out fog. Look at that little nodule on the top. I don't know what you call it. That antenna thing. This is a furnace. This is a furnace of Egypt. And in the furnace of Egypt, they create the small dust of Egypt, as per Exodus 9:8-10. This alchemical chemtrail agenda has been running for thousands of years. Just now, though, it's running at a high pitch. They're building all across the earth. They are destroying waters. They are destroying land masses by creating huge sinkholes like they have in America. This is methane gas. It's bubbling and boiling. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. If you read the prophet Ezekiel, he says the city is a cauldron. I think it's chapter 11. The city is the cauldron and we are the flesh. It's perfect. It's a perfect prophecy for the time we are living in now. The city is the cauldron. The entire earth is like a cauldron. They just keep adding chemicals and turning up the heat with all of their instrumentation. Even these lights. Look at this smokestack here. We're surrounded by alchemy, which is the small dust of Egypt, which is metals pound and ground into fine powders. They call them nanoparticles sometimes, or nanoparticulates, and they spray them in the sky. And we breathe them in. They create a sheet, a mercurial sheet in front of the sun every single day when we see the sun. We don't always see the sun, but when we do see the sun, sure as you're born, there is a molten metal mirror. It's like a scrying board in front of the sun, and they build this. This is part of their construction for destruction. Take a look at the building here. Building, building. Behind this building, there's another building. They want to close up every single hole. They're not putting up trees. We do have a couple of nurseries, so-called, where they're planting trees like crazy. But I'll tell you what, no sooner are the trees planted and begin to grow, after several months, they haul them away, truck by the truckload, dead. This is all a chimera in order to give the false impression that they care about the environment. And they will tell you that you're at fault. How many people have I spoken to that say, well, yes, we are at fault because of our cars. They don't even see the planes. Oh, that's just condensed water. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. If that's water, why isn't it falling down? Or it should fall down and dissipate to the point that we don't even notice it. Water is not white. Water does not leave a white trail. Put a pot on the stove of water and bring it to the boil and see what color it is. Does the steam turn your kitchen white? Does it linger for hours? Please, people must learn to think, and to think critically, and not just accept all of these lies and explanation of science. You must realize that science is a religion. Science is a religion of Hermes Trismegistus, the 888, the thrice great God, who is no God at all but Satan in the flesh, a fallen angel. Who is destroying the earth. God is letting him do it. That is to say, we are letting him do it. How often have I heard, well, if there was a God, why is he letting this happen to us? Wait a minute. Why can't we discern good from evil? Why can't we stop it? Why don't we stop it? I'll tell you why, because people have become unnatural, brute beasts. I do believe it was Peter who called mankind natural brute beasts, but I would contend that most of mankind is unnatural, an unnatural brute beast. They cannot differentiate between good and evil. All they do is take in. They take in the input from scientists and people on TV. Science, as I said, is a religion. It is the religion of Satan. They will tell you that the earth is a ball spinning around itself, spinning around the earth. Just think about it. For what reason should it be spinning around itself? Well, it's on an axis. The only reason it has to be on an axis is if it's a round ball, not all land masses will be reached by the sun. So they had to make up this tilted ball thing. A ball is not tilted. Think about it. You cannot tilt a ball. A ball is a ball. But it's a sleight of hand. It's a magic trick to get people to believe that the earth is on an axis which is tilted. Hold a ball up in the air and tilt the ball. You cannot tilt it. It can't be done. And oftentimes, well, when I was young and you would go to the public library or the school library, they'd always invariably have a so-called globe, a glow ball, on a stick, which was also attached to another stick. The one stick was perpendicular, and the stick stemming from it was at a slant, so that you would get the false and the glow ball was attached to it, so that you would think that this was the axis, the invisible. People believe in an invisible axis, but they will not believe in the invisible God who is blessed forever. Take a look back here at all this white. They're killing the forest with this, raising the temperatures. They're killing us also. It's a slow kill, it's a slow grill, it's asphyxiation. No question about it. And what else do they want us to believe in? Oh, in gravity. It's the Lord God Almighty who holds everything together. In reality, there's so much poison. There's so many tons of poisons raining down on us, showering down on us, that we should all be dead by now. It's only thanks to the Lord God Almighty that we're not dead, but we are dying, quite obviously. Take a look at the sun every day being shielded. You cannot tell me that when the sun hits a shield that they're cooling. Just imagine a light bulb, for example, with a sheet of aluminum in front of it, and the light bulb shining onto this aluminum sheet. How hot do you think that's going to be behind that aluminum sheet? Do you really believe that they're deflecting the sun's rays back into outer space? The sun is not that far. There is a dome above the earth. The sun is shining through the dome, shining through onto this molten metal mirror, which is probably also loaded with aluminum. I do not know exactly. And that there is sweltering heat beyond that. Or let's say between the sun and this a sheet of mercury, this mirror. People, really, I'm telling you, you do not have to be a genius to figure these things out. You only have to want to know and to understand the truth. And it behooves all of us to want to know the truth, because we are being ever more sucked down into a vacuum of lies, into the strong delusion. The further we go, the more lies they're going to tell. Look at all the numbers. I know people who say they've been trying to get tested for COVID and can't. And this is the trick. All they need to do is say the numbers are high, the numbers are high. The number every day it's 25,000 more and 35,000 more, and we've got to have a lockdown and so on. But what about all the people who are saying we can't get the test, we can't get the vaccine? You see, they don't really care if you're positive or negative, because there is no, I don't believe. This is my belief. I have a right to my beliefs and my opinions. But when I look around me, I do not see it anywhere. All I see are numbers being flashed and people being sent into a frenzy because of fear. And it's all, somebody said to me, people are dying. I said, people are dying every day. People have not just started dying, but you see, people are not making the connection. They're not seeing the deception. Because I believe they believe in science, which is a false religion. They have rejected their Almighty Creator, and He is darkening their mind. And we have to do all we can to help these people understand the truth and show them. It's very hard. It's very difficult. But it must be done. It must be done. Otherwise, we are responsible for their demise.